Welcome to Sunday morning qualifiers here at Northfield Park, Racino. Have a nice show with the TheStable.ca partnership, as they have plenty of 2-year-old qualifiers on today's card. We have 12 races, lots of 2-year-olds, some fresh faces, and some experienced racehorses. Trotters are on gate here for race 1. Maddie Angus is driving the 1. Game on, girls. No other changes. They're off and trotting. Good start. Eli's Dream Girl from the outside heads out looking for the lead. Cruisin' Cassie shows a bit of speed down toward the inside as they bend onto the opening turn. Eli's Dream Girl is crossed over and sped off by 2 as they make their way to the backstretch. Cruisin' Cassie is away racing second. Creemore comes out racing third. Papa Doc gets away in fourth. It's 3 back. Game on Girls is fifth. And the trailer Lockkeeper's Dream. So there's about 11 lengths covering them as they're well spaced out up to a 29-second opening quarter. And Eli's Dream Girl, the daughter of Global Republic, out front. Leads by 4 here for Lems. Eli's Dream Girl well clear of the others. Cruisin' Cassie leads the rest of the pack in second. In line, Creemore still racing from third. Papa Doc is fourth. It's 5 more to Game on Girls. Give it a nudge there from fifth. And the trailer Lockkeeper's Dream last of them all. Down to the halfway point of the contest. Eli's Dream Girl still showing the way. An 18-time winner. Eli's Dream Girl's out front and completes lap number 1 in 58 and 4/5 seconds. So pretty modest fraction set up by Eli's Dream Girl with over 3/8 of a mile to trot here in the Sunday morning qualifier opener. Cruisin' Cassie still second. In line, Creemore racing from third as they make their way to the backstretch. Papa Doc is fourth. Everyone minding their manners early on. The Game on Girls in the trailer Lockkeeper's Dream. They race to the midpoint of the backstretch. It's been all Eli's Dream Girl since the word go. She left aggressively, found herself on the front, and she's well clear of the others after a 128 and 2 3/4 speed. Eli's Dream Girl into the far turn, open lengths. Comfortably traveling at this stage with an 1/8 of a mile to go. Cruisin' Cassie and Creemore second and third. Papa Doc is fourth, and Game on Girls and Lockkeeper's Dream has trailed throughout as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Eli's Dream Girl. Eli's Dream Girl stays flat, and she is strong down here to the finish. Much the best in race 1. Eli's Dream Girl, home a 7-length winner. Creemore did get up for second from Cruisin' Cassie. Papa Doc, Game on Girls, and Lockkeeper's Dream. Time of the mile was 1:58 and 1.
Welcome everybody to the 2026 open house for TheStable.ca. I am Jessica and joined by Jason McGinnis. It's been a big weekend in harness racing overall, a big weekend for TheStable. We're happy to kick it off here. We had a first qualifier of older horses. You guys are going to send behind the gate, I believe, 14 of them today?
14 2-year-olds and 3 older horses.
Okay, yeah, there we go. So 14 2-year-olds and older horses as well. We're glad that Northfield Park was able to put this on, not only for the 2-year-olds, but the older horses as well. Before they go behind the gate here, we're going to send out a couple in here. We've got Barcelona Mickey, Complete Unknown. Any standouts to you, maybe, or one that you're looking forward to for today?
There's been a couple training really well. We've already qualified some nice horses at the Meadowlands and some at the Meadows. There's some nice ones here today, too. I haven't sat behind him, but I've heard good things about Barcelona Mickey and Complete Unknown. He's been training really well, too, so kind of interested to see them go.
It's going to be the first crop for that Breeders' Crown champ Monty Mickey. That's, of course, the sire of Barcelona Mickey. Kenny Livingood's with us all morning long as well. He's going to describe qualifier number 2.
Qualifier number 2, 7 freshman pacers making their first trip behind the starting gate. Multiple offspring of Monty Mickey in here, like we heard. Breeders' Crown champion Monty Mickey. Don't forget, 2-year-olds do all school a lap, so they will stay behind the gate for an entire lap, and then we'll let them go. Number 1, Knock My Socks Off, daughter of Poppy Rob Hanover for trainer-driver Logan Ebersol. 2, CPF Preddy, Eli Schwartzentruber driving for Karen Freed. 3 is Pose for Mickey, Justin Irvine, driver and trainer. 4, Barcelona Mickey, one of 2 here for the stable team. Jason McGinnis, the conditioner, Tyler Angus driving. 5, I Got Your Monty, Sean Smith-Peters trains and drives. Chris Lems for Scott Cox with number 6, D's Ava. And the leader of the Stable.ca, Anthony McDonald, driving the 7, Complete Unknown for Jason McGinnis. Again, they will score behind the gate and then qualify on laps 2 and 3. The field of 7 2-year-old pacers. Always exciting to get the 2-year-olds out on a beautiful Sunday morning here at Northfield Park. The field of 7 were all professional in their schooling lap, stayed pacing, and they're on gate. And the 2-year-old pacers are sent on their way. It's I Got Your Monty. Off the wings very well. Toward the inside is CPF Preddy. Gonna come away racing in second along the rail. Knock My Socks Off. Gets away in third. Now fourth is driving forward. Goes D's Ava. So big time speed there in corner 1 for D's Ava as she blitzes to the front. And following her is Complete Unknown, the son of Better's Wish, up into third. And Anthony has a decision to make if he can drive on or take the 3-hole. And it looks like he will opt to sit Complete Unknown third as they make their way to the quarter. CPF Preddy was away alertly and ends up settling in fourth. Knock My Socks Off is fifth. 2 back, Pose for Mickey and Barcelona Mickey. 2 offsprings of Monty Mickey at the back of the field. The opening quarter, 31 2/5 seconds from D's Ava. Chris Lems here, another daughter of Monty Mickey, one of 4 of this group. Out front here leads by 2 from I Got Your Money in second for Smith-Peters as they race in front of the stands. Complete Unknown racing in third and about 3 lengths off the leader. They're single file as they pace in front of us. Fourth is CPF Preddy racing mid-flight. Then it's Knock My Socks Off. Pose for Mickey was up on heels and guided off the rail, and the trailer is Barcelona Mickey, halfway home in 101 and 1. So they pick it up in the second quarter as TheStable leads with 3/8 of a mile to go. I Got Your Money continues to sit second. Complete Unknown's been patiently handled after leaving pretty aggressively to land in third with just less than 3/8 now. Now Complete Unknown gets the green light, and McDonald pulls Complete Unknown, and with a big-time blitz of speed up the backstretch, Complete Unknown traveling very nicely. That was a push-button speed move after 3 quarters and 1:30 and 4, so 29 and 3, and Complete Unknown is trying to dust this field. Suddenly 3 in front. TheStable back in second. I Got Your Money is third. Then comes CPF Pretty along the cones in fourth. Post for Mickey is fifth. But as they come to the top of the stretch, going off stride went TheStable, but Complete Unknown has crushed this second race field. This is a promising son of Better's Wish. Just a $7,000 Harrisburg purchase, and Anthony had a pistol grip down to the finish in 158 and 1. I Got Your Money second. Then TheStable, who came back to be third from Pose for Mickey. Race 2 qualifier in the books. It's not the $1 million North America Cup that Anthony's brother James McDonald won last night, but he'll take qualifier number 2 with Complete Unknown with a strong second lap. Certainly very promising one there.
First of the 2-year-old qualifiers is in the books. Pacific Complete Unknown a little bit about the engine.
Size, attitude,
or 7. So you race scenarios. Back and sit. And he's of course in his own right, but he had a lot of he had a decorated resume on that kind of in Barcelona. Mickey, what were your thoughts on that one?
I thought he was good. Tyler got away at the back, and he closed up well. I thought he was good.
I was a big fan of Monty Mickey, so I'm really excited to see his first nothing.
Qualifier number 3 headed behind the gate. For those of you that are looking for all the 2-year-olds tonight, they are in our even qualifier. So races 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. 6 divisions of 2-year-old qualifiers. Back to the older horses, race 3. Here they come. Number 3, Athleta, was withdrawn as the rest of the field is sent on its way. Racing Perfection and Jim Blue goes off stride. Jim Blue jumped it off there as they made their way into turn 1. John Sioka Jr. and Uptown Rose from an inside starting draw come away racing second. Big Bonanza and the Grizz get away in third as they make their way onto the backstretch. Fourth early on is Kiss My Accolades. Then it's Catch Marcus and Pepsi Pop, and Jim Blue made the miscue at the start is the trailer. So they head up the backstretch. Jim Blue rough again in the backfield as up top it's Racing Perfection showing the way. Speeding past a 29-1 opening quarter. Racing Perfection, the son of Racing Hill. Out front, lifetime mark of 54-2 a season ago at the Delaware Fairgrounds. Leads here by 4 lengths. Racing Perfection in front. Second down at the inside is Uptown Rose as they race in front of the grandstand for the first time. Big Bonanza races from the third position. It's a gap of 2 to Kiss My Accolades, who's fourth and nudged along. Jim Blue on the outside fifth. Catch Marcus is sixth, and Pepsi Pop can see them all. 58-1. Half-mile split. Logan Ebersol and Racing Perfection doing it nicely up front. Still an open length leader with 3/8 of a mile to go as they round turn number 3. Back in second is Uptown Rose. Then it's Big Bonanza in third. Jim Blue outside of Kiss My Accolade, still fourth and fifth, and about 7.5 lengths off the leader. Catch Marcus is second last, only in front of Pepsi Pop. It's been all about Racing Perfection throughout, though. Racing Perfection 5 lengths to the good. It's Big Bonanza who tries to cut into the margin, moves up into second after 3 quarters, 127-2. So lap number 2 significantly faster here from Racing Perfection, still 3.5 in front. Big Bonanza is second, but rough gated there for a brief moment. Third on the outside, Jim Blue. Then Uptown Rose along the rail. They make their way to the top of the stretch, racing perfection, just toying with this field. Logan Ebersol now goes to submerging to keep racing perfection to task, but home free a winner nonetheless. 3 lengths in front. Big Bonanza was second. Catch Marcus made a nice rally to be third. Jim Blue fourth. Then Uptown Rose 156 and 4.
Yes, sir. Back to Northfield Park. Slight break here after the third. There's going to be 2 breaks today, after the third and after the 7th, to allow people to warm up. With 12 qualifiers, kind of tough to get them all warmed up in the main track. So a couple breaks here, and the first one is right now.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that was a big weekend of racing. Let's kind of talk about it because you guys had a big contender in one of those races last night up at Mohawk. First and foremost, I love going to big races at Mohawk. I think they do such a phenomenal job. It's so fan friendly. You can literally get right up close and personal with the horses and the drivers and the trainers, being backed right up to the paddock. But the Fan Hanover, perfect thought. She had a first over performance and against 2 of the best mares fillies I guess we've seen in that division.
Yeah, I thought she raced great. James gave her a good trip. Uncle Harry Polton, he had her ready. I thought she raced tremendous. Got beat. There's no shame in being third, especially on a first over trip to those 2. Lua Deepa and BG's perfect best thought.
Be perfect BG.
Be perfect BG. I knew it was something like that. Tony Beaton's filly.
Yeah.
They both raced great. There's 2 great fillies, and Perfect Thought was a very game third. No shame in that.
No, definitely not. And maybe around the far turn, it was a question of, oh gosh, there's still quite a bit of stretch left, but she held in gamely, and like you said, that first over for a long time, nonetheless, either. I know people may have had their questions about Tony's filly. You know, they hadn't quite seen her face the best of the best because she wasn't staked to anything, and we know how dominant Lua Deepa was. But I thought Perfect Thought definitely held her own. Now she'll be coming back to the States next.
Yep,
What's next
she's coming
for her?
back down here, and it may be her next stake may be the Adios Volo at the Meadows. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on her for the stable. But overall, last night, phenomenal racing. What were your thoughts on the Cup?
Just a great card all around. I sat home on the couch and watched every race. It was just, like you said, Mohawk. It's my home track. It's probably still my favorite track to race at. And they put on a great show. I thought the whole card, top to bottom, so many horses raced so good. And the cup, the two big races, the Fan Hanover and the Cup itself. I mean, the best three were 1, 2, 3 in my opinion in both races, and the amount of horses that raced great last night was just startling.
Yeah, the Cup definitely lived up to the hype. I know a lot of people wanted to see maybe Bojangles and Mr. Mamba team up in the final, face off in the final, but I think maybe Bojangles getting that first loss in the elimination made it even more intriguing, I guess, for the final because then everybody thought they had a chance to win, so it wasn't just going to be maybe a laydown sort of instance.
Yeah, they were great eliminations last week, and to have those three all draw in the same elimination was crazy. And then last night they didn't disappoint. I mean, the big three, I guess you could call them, they all raced great.
Yeah.
Bojangles left hard, removed to the front. Brandon Boulevard,
big mile,
unbelievable. I've known Andrew Harris since he was a kid, and I messaged Andrew this morning. I said, man, your horse raced tremendous, that kind of mile against those horses out of the 10 hole. And I said, he'll get you one, because I can see those three trading punches all summer.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a fantastic race. It delivered, that was for sure.
It was back-to-back years that Post 10 finished second
Yeah.
by literal whiskers in the North America Cup. And then pretty cool for James to pick up the drive on odds on Mr. Mamba in the elimination. And then obviously had to have that choice to have to make for the final. But I don't think people outside of Indiana or people who've seen Mr. Mamba in person realized, one, how small he was compared to maybe Bojangles or Brandon Boulevard. Two, the quick turn of foot he has. When you think he hits that last gear, he's got another one in store.
The way he can flip off cover and just sprint, it's scary. To go by a horse like Brandon Boulevard and Bojangles, 2 weeks in a row, he's the real deal. They all are.
Yeah.
I mean, and he had a great trip. He had a great drive from James, even though he was out the whole way. The horse never saw the pylons, I don't think. And Brandon Boulevard was in for maybe 3 seconds. It was unbelievable.
It's definitely going to be exciting to watch them hopefully trade blows throughout the summer because it was thrilling. The crowd, obviously, with it being Bojangles, is home track. When he stepped on the track, the crowd roared, and when he took the lead, the crowd roared again. And then it kind of got silent there. And then when they were close to the wire, it just it gave me goosebumps. It's just fun to experience instances like that.
Yeah, and James, I mean, he's one of the hardest workers there is. If you know him, he's one of the first guys in the barn when he has his own horses and stuff. I was there all winter, and he beat me to the barn practically every day. And he goes out and races at night, and for him to get a North America Cup at home was real special to him. I know it was.
Yeah, and he picked up the drive on Mickey and Minnie as well. With Dexter being locked down with Twin B Joe Fresh, he couldn't have picked up a liver horse either.
I don't think Dexter has to get James a Christmas present this year. He already gave him two. He chose off odds on Mr. Mamba, and Dexter, obviously, as being part owner, obligated to Twin B Joe Fresh. And James put her in a great spot, too. And he had a heck of a night, and nobody deserves it more than him.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. And going over to the older ranks, I don't know if you said you watched all the races. Irvin Hanover parked every step of the mile, 25-3 opening quarter, and he never stopped. Like, he was just rolling the entire mile.
We were just talking about that before you got here. We were talking about some of the races. And that was pretty cool. They flew you in by helicopter and landed in the center field, fresh from Mohawk anyway, so you could make it. That was neat. Irvin Hanover raced fantastic. Those horses, the whole card was so good, and they get downplayed a little bit by the big races. But Irvin Hanover, an unbelievable mile from the outside again.
And you never really know either. I was talking about this last night with a couple of people. Like, it was the second weekend of June, so the horses are still kind of getting their feet under themselves. Like, odds on Mr. Mamba, he only had a start going into that elimination. Bojangles had a couple of starts. Like, they're still not, in my opinion, at the peaking part of the summer yet.
It seems to be kind of Meadowlands pace-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all trained by great trainers, and they're ready, but still getting those extra starts under your belt come midsummer. They're three scary horses in that instance of the colt division, and I can't wait to watch them all year.
It's just scary thinking about how much better they could get, and they were all on top of their game last night. And I think that just speaks volumes, one, to how the breed is continuing to change, two, the phenomenal trainers, I guess, that condition these horses week in and week out. the schedules that they have to put up with. Like, I think like if you try and hit 75% of the 3-year-old colt pace races, you're racing 15, almost 15 weeks. It seems like.
I've worked for I worked like 3 years for Irv Miller. I worked for Tony Alanya. I worked for Blake McIntosh, and been with Anthony now for probably 10 years. And I always say part of the battle is having the great horse and getting it there, obviously, but managing your horse all summer, track to track, where they have to go, keeping them healthy. It's hard. These guys do a great job year after year. The same guys are in these big races, and it's no coincidence.
No, and the travel too. Some horses just don't travel well, and in instances like take the weather for example. It was freezing up until 2 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden it's muggy and humid and hot. And
this week here in Ohio was just
as a human, it can be hard to overcome, and we can control what we do. Like some of these fillies it doesn't agree with geldings, let alone the fillies. I just think it's so tough for them to overcome, and you see that year after year with the top horses. They have somehow overcome it all the time.
It is, and to have you go back to a filly like Perfect Thought. Megan did a great job with her, and she tied up unfortunately in the New Jersey Sire Stake final and had to be scratched. So we ship her back here. We trained her here. We ship her up to Ontario. She's there for 2 weeks, and the travel and everything, and for Harry to have her at the top of her game last night was pretty good.
And as someone who lived on the East Coast for 7 years, the weather is so different out there. It is like the most humid place I think I've ever been, and it's weird because I thought this part of the world was humid, this part of the States was, and I went out there, and it's just a totally different atmosphere. So kudos to Harry. I know Dr. Latessa spent a lot of time, Dr. Katie and your team, to get her right, because it was almost a month in between races before that elimination.
Yeah, she when you miss the final and then come up here, and there wasn't really a race for her. I think she could have raced at the Meadows, but she'd been racing against the boys.
Yeah.
And I mean, she raced against two great fillies last night, but racing older boys, it's
older
different.
Horses in general, even if it was
different.
mares.
Yeah, it's just different. So we elected not to race her and just sent her up there. And I mean, she won her elimination in 49 and was a game third last night. So great job by everybody.
We talk about the older horses having such a tough schedule. What about the babies? What does it look like for you guys? Some people turn their horses out. Some people kind of take it case by case. You get these horses, we'll say from Lexington, that's early October. They get shipped up here. You break them. You get those jog miles into them. You guys typically turn horses out when they need it, give them just light jogging. What does that process look like?
It goes horse by horse. We have a couple out in the field right now. Just a couple of them needed a little time and weren't quite ready to drive on. And right now is drive on time. It's go time. So if they're not 100% and ready to press on, they got a little break and they can race later in the year for good money too. But, we always aim, we've won it a couple times. The next generation of Scioto is our first.
That's coming
our
up soon.
First big one, July 4th.
Yep.
Yeah. That's our first kind of big thing on the calendar for the Ohio breds for sure. And then fall into, maybe the Sire Stakes, Buckeyes or whatever. And I think Pennsylvania starts early this year, the Sire Stakes. And
then there's always Kentucky, too. They start so early.
Right. Kentucky starts early. We've had a couple 2-year-olds down with Eric Padawan and his wife, Kathy. They've raced a couple times already at the fairs.
Yep. And for people watching and listening, like, it's not just, you break them, you jog them, you train them, and they're at the races. There's a lot that goes behind. You ask a lot from these 2-year-olds at such a young age, and I think that kind of gets misinterpreted sometimes. They're not always going to be ready, the first week of June. Some horses do need that extra time, and I'm a firm believer in patience is key for a lot of horses.
It is. There's some that just aren't ready, and there's some that they're ready to roll. They develop early, and whether it's mental or physical, they're ready to go, and some just take a little longer.
We talked about the next generation. I think it's so cool that Scioto and the OHHA and that crew kind of came up with that idea because it kind of showcases maybe, or helps showcase those Ohio breds, obviously. But the Ohio breds have taken on the Grand Circuit and done quite well. And I think a lot of horses that have come out of the next generation, for instance, maybe Sets Your Sights High for the Melanders, she went on to win plenty of Grand Circuit races.
Yeah, very good filly. we haven't seen him in Ohio yet, but Brandon Boulevard's down by the
Exactly.
seaside.
Exactly.
So does Andrew try to squeeze him over to Scioto a couple times to qualify for the final? Maybe. I don't know his schedule, but
Yeah, that'd be interesting because now the Breeders' Crown is right here.
Breeders' Crown's at Scioto,
Yeah.
so maybe he wants to kind of give him a test spin there. It'll be interesting to see for sure.
We have qualifier number 4 coming up. It's on the trot, of course, the 2-year-olds. I think there's a field of 6 until told otherwise. One in here for you, Pilot Caviar for the stable. Father Patrick, of course. You have 3. Oh, yeah. And then Vine Staff, which is a homebred out of Muscle Chrome by Century and ATM. And you guys had a little bit of success with Century and ATM.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I think this is his first year strictly Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a nice colt. He's a homebred out of Muscle Chrome, who's the dam of Tomboy Strong. She's won a couple races this year and come back okay. And
I love the way she looks, the way she covers the
she's
ground.
Got the 4 white legs.
She
and
does.
Stuff.
She just kind of glides out there too.
She's noticeable for sure. She's got a really nice way of going, and she catches your eye for sure. 4 white legs.
Logan Ebersol will sit behind Vine Staff, and then Anthony will guide Pilot Caviar. This is a filly by Father Patrick, who I think sometimes gets overlooked as a sire.
Yeah, he's been consistent. He's been around a while now, and they have a tendency to be a little difficult to get along with at times. So I think that's why Anthony likes them, and we've had some success with them. But a Father Patrick filly, $42,000 Lexington buy. I haven't sat behind her, but everybody seems to kind of like her, so we'll see what she can do here today.
Mixed bags for sires in here. Those are your 2. We have a Long Tom, we have a Volstead, and an Action Uncle, which I'm curious to see how that shapes up because he was quite the horse for Virgil Morgan Jr., and I think this is his first crop as well. So curious to see how that will go as they go behind the gate. They're going to go, I think, 1 lap around to kind of get used to the gate before they let them go. So we'll send it over to Kenny for the call of race 4.
Our second 2-year-old qualifier and 4th on this Sunday morning, early afternoon. Don't forget they do score 1 trip behind the gate before they are released, so just learning their jobs behind the gate. Field of 6. Number 1 is Tommy Stress and Micah Miller, the trainer and driver. Jason McGinnis and Anthony McDonald team up with the 2, Pilot Caviar. And my mistake, it is Chris Lems driving the 1, Tommy Stress. So Chris Lems on the 1. 2 is Pilot Caviar, Anthony McDonald, Jason McGinnis, also from the McGinnis barn. Number 3, Vine Staff, Logan Ebersol does the driving. 4, Sweet Valerie, Case Bateson for Karen Freed. 5, D's Alex, Darren Harvey trains and drives. And Sean Smith-Peters trains and drives the 6, We Action. It's a field of 6. Pair of long toms in here. Tommy Stress from the rail and D's Alex from post 5. Field of 6 freshman trotters. We saw pacers just a short while ago. Let's see if the trotters can mind their manners here. Field of 6 trotters. They're picking up speed now. And they're off and trotting. All come off the wings okay. Good beginnings from Sweet Valerie down the center for Bateson. Far outside, We Action, leaving ever so slightly up into second right now as they head around turn number 1. Pilot Caviar and Tommy Stress are 3rd and 4th. Vine Staff is second last, and the trailer is D's Alex, so they all navigate turn number 1 and make their way onto the backstretch cleanly. It's not a quick tempo, but not necessarily looking for that early on in these young careers, as Sweet Valerie leads the way and leads by 2. Daughter of Volstead out front. We Action landed second, opening quarter, 32 seconds flat. Pilot Caviar races in 3rd. Tommy Stress, Lems has her 4th and about 5 lengths off the leader. Nose to helmet for Vine Staff and 2 back to the trailer, D's Alex. First 3/8 of a mile complete in single file alignment, led up top by Sweet Valerie. Sweet Valerie down to the halfway point in front. We Action continues a 2-hole trip. Third in line for Pilot Caviar. Then it's Tommy Stress, Vine Staff in the trailer, D's Alex. Lap number 1, 104-1, so it was a 32-1. Second quarter from Sweet Valerie. They're all just coasting along. We Action continues to race there in second with 3/8 of a mile to go. AMAC and Pilot Caviar in line third. Fourth at this stage, still Tommy Stress. There's been no movement. Vine Staff and D's Alex at the back. On to the backstretch now. The pace will pick up and the complexion will change as We Action's ready to come out of the pocket and confront Sweet Valerie as they race to 3/4. So Sweet Valerie with the lead. We Action comes off the Bates and helmet and swings to the outside and takes the lead. 3/4 in 1:35.3. Pilot Caviar right in behind them, third. Fourth along the cones is Tommy Stress. Then comes Vine Staff in the trailer. Still D's Alex as they round the far turn. It's Sweet Valerie trying to go all the way. She's still in front here. On the outside, We Action, Pilot Caviar into a tight spot down along the inside and will go into the passing lane as they turn for home. Sweet Valerie, Pilot Caviar up the inside. Sweet Valerie is going to go all the way. Pilot Caviar second, We Action third, Tommy Stress, Vine Staff, and D's Alex 2:06 1/5.
Qualifier number 4 in the books. Good efforts by each one of those two, Jason. Thanks to Amy McDonald for pointing out that Pilot Caviar, half sister to Champagne Problems, who was a very nice trotter for Nancy Tactor. She competed first outing, I think, or second outing maybe last night in the Armbro flight against Older. So she's got some nice siblings.
Yeah, no, I thought she looked good. You know, she kind of got jammed up a couple times and still a little trot in the end. Half in 104 and change, mile in 2:06, but everybody behaved and did their work. Logan got away at the back and finished up good, so happy with both of them.
Now, will most of these horses or some of these horses come back a second try? Even if they do get qualified, Maybe
Yeah,
just
a
look for
lot of them.
mannerism and then come back?
A lot of them will. They've done it now, so might look for a little more speed. Depending on where their jurisdiction is, they may go to the meadows and qualify. Just kind of depends on the horse and the situation.
Speaking of Amy McDonald, she's on the East Coast with a couple of horses. I think you guys qualified 3 maybe last week?
Yep, qualified 3. Superway, Exy, and Atomics Hanover.
Yes. Now, Superway, is that the one out of Ariana G?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw that the sibling, American Power, I believe, upset Apex in his first race of the year
Right.
a couple of weeks ago, and then Apex come on to win. But Ariana G was just a tremendous racehorse. She was so fun to watch.
Yeah,
And
great horse, and he's got a long way to go to fill his mom's shoes, but he looked really good last week, and we were happy with him. And due to the schedule, the World Cup being at the Meadowlands this week, qualifiers were Saturday last week. They were Thursday this week, so elected to skip this week and focus on next week.
yeah, so they'll go again next week, like you just mentioned. And she also has Jailbird Jog. Tough trip in the final, but she's been a nice filly for you guys too.
Yeah, she's been a very good filly. Bad post. Tried kind of half ducking, it didn't work, and had to roll onto the front. And 5th place 6 was unfortunate, but she trotted. She still trotted a mile 51-4 home, and I think 27-2. She raced great. Circumstances weren't great, so she had some bad luck, but hopefully luck's on her side next time.
It was pretty cool for her to take the first ever Oak Grove trial for the Oaks.
Yeah, no, we've had some good luck in the last few years at Oak Grove with Eric, who I mentioned earlier, and his wife Kathy, and she raced great. They did a great job with her, and she raced amazing. She had a little luck. A couple fillies made breaks, but she was very, very good. I don't think they were beating her anyway. So it was Oak Grove. The money there is great, and they put up money into these 2 big stakes, and it was really cool to win one.
They definitely love racing. Now, I'm going to assume maybe she's on her path to the Hambletonian Oaks.
Yeah, she's going to stay in New Jersey for the time being, and the Oaks is kind of the goal right now.
All right, qualifier number 5 is up next. It's older horses. We'll be back after this.
Full qualifier of older horses, all 8 on track, taking their spots behind the wings of the Northfield Park starting truck. Here come the field of 8. And they're off and racing. Good speed from Captain John, who begins well. Showing speed as always be better off the wings, and toward the inside is Quick and Shady as they head into the initial turn. Very wide there was Captain John. Could have given the starter a high 5, but he's going to cross over and take the lead nonetheless. So Captain John with a 3-length lead as they bend down to the backstretch. 7 and 8 are going to line up 1-2 as Not Fake News. John Sioka Jr. paves that one into the pocket spot. Getting away third is Always Be Better. The son of Always Be Mickey showed some nice speed off the gate in his third. 28 seconds, pretty lively. Quick and Shady is fourth, 2 back to Brett the Jet, who's racing in the 5th position as they round the turn. Then comes Who Ya Foolin'. It's a gap of 6 lengths to Bart the Barrister. And out the back, at the back of the field, is Full Time Power. They're well strung out, 15 lengths covering them. That's because they're going pretty quick up front, and they're all led by Captain John. Captain John down to the half in front. A winner at the Paulding Fair not too long ago, just a few days ago, in fact, as Captain John gets them halfway home in 57 4/5 seconds. Not Fake News is racing in second. It's 7 lengths back now to Always Be Better. Racing in third, Quick and Shady is at the inside fourth, but pinned in there as Hirschberger moves off the rail with Brett the Jet, but they're a long way behind. A runaway right now, Captain John. Captain John enters the back stretch, and he's now 6 in front, showing some nice talent here. Captain John well clear. Not Fake News has the same margin on an improving Brett the Jet, who's into third. Who Ya Foolin' is fourth. 3/4, 126 and 1. Take a look at Captain John. He's 10 in front and drawing well clear. not fake news, was completely bottomed out, and he's going a half a stride to Captain John's full stride. He's now 15 in front. Off stride went Brett the Jet. Who You Foolin' had to evade that one. So too did Quick and Shady. They're at another county. Captain John. This is why he wanted Paulding. He is very talented indeed. Captain John down to the finish, stopping the timer 155 and 2. He might have won by 30. Full-time Power got up for second. Who You Foolin' third. Quick and Shady fourth. Two-year-old trotters make their way behind the gate for their schooling lap. I do have to mention the margin in that fifth race qualifier was 33 lengths from Captain John, so a very nice 3-year-old there for the Jerry Miller barn as we turn the page to the 2-year-olds. Number 1, Ms. Ella Page. Case Bateson for Karen Freed. 2, What a Houdini. Tyler Angus for Jason McGinnis. 3, Miss Lady May. Anthony McDonald for Jason McGinnis. 4, Action Audio. Sean Smith-Peters. Trains and Drives. Darren Harvey trains and drives the 5, Divine Delight, and the 6, D's Allison. Chris Slems for Scott Cox. Field of 6 trotters. Here they come. And they're off and trotting. All off the wings cleanly. Down the center, it's Action Audio. Shows the most speed and heads out to the front into the opening turn. Divine Delight trying to work over and land a seat. Right now is in the 2-path, squeezing in front of Ms. Ella Page. Comes out racing in third. Then it's the stable team of What a Houdini and Miss Lady May on the outside. And D's Allison will take residence at the back of the field as they make their way onto the backstretch and drive up to the opening quarter. They're led up top by Sean Smith-Peters and Action Audio. Miss Lady May methodically moving to the frontier for AMAC as they go through a 33-3. Opening quarter split. Here's Miss Lady May. She'll cross over and clear now as they bend onto the far turn for the first time, and she's 3 in front now. She speeds off. Action Audio is second. Third is Divine Delight. Then it's Ms. Ella Page, who's in line fourth, followed by What a Houdini and D's Allison at the back. So Miss Lady May, the daughter of Back of the Neck, out front here. $24,000 Harrisburg purchase, leads by 4 lengths with 1 lap to go. Gets down to the half in 104-3, so it was a 31-second quarter. Picked it up significantly in quarter number 2, and now she's 6 lengths in front as they move with 3/8 of a mile left to trot. Action Audio continues to race second. Third and swinging to the outside goes Divine Delight for Harvey. Bottled up at the inside is Ms. Ella Page. What a Houdini got shuffled to last in that exchange as D's Allison pulled around that one. Meanwhile, take a look at Miss Lady May. She's 10 in front. Miss Lady May throttling down here, off 3/4 and 133-3. So a middle half there of an even 60 seconds for Miss Lady May. Not the quickest first quarter, but she is well clear and looking good with 1/8 of a mile to go. Off stride went D's Allison, as up to second came Divine Delight, but as they make their way to the top of the stretch, Miss Lady May off the turn well clear, and she's just coasting home to the finish with 0 AMAC urging. Miss Lady May's 15 in front. Divine Delight is very green, just went to the inside of the course. Miss Ella Page rallies nicely up into second. Third goes to What a Houdini, then Action Audio, Divine Delight, and D's Allison stopping the clock. 2:02-3, Miss Lady May.
Driving
33-3.
Yeah.
He tried to fight her, sit her in after going behind the gate and being in the bike. It could have ended poorly, so moved her to the front. She looked semi-relaxed on the front. She's got a quick turn of foot. She can motor. He had a pretty big hold on her, 29 flat on the end. She should have a lot of fun in New York this year.
I always am very appreciative when the announcers do the math for me
Right.
because not always the quickest when it comes to doing those fraction maths. So Kenny Livingston said it was an even 60-second middle half, and she looked pretty comfortable doing it.
Yeah, we're putting Kenny to work here today because he said normally the time's up, but it's not today, so he's going by memory.
That's pretty good because I can sit there and stare at all those numbers all day long and still get a little confused. What a Houdini was 3 wide in the far turn. A breaker to his outside. I thought he handled that professionally. Sometimes the younger horses don't always have their mind on the matter, and I thought he closed well.
Yeah, he looked good. Tower sat back early. I mean, he's over the half, really slow. Just went around with him. This isn't a bad colt. He's got a little bit of talent, and he was a little sick last week, so he did the right thing, and he closed up well, like I said, and he was pretty professional, too. He had a breaker in the far turn. One kind of dove in the inside down the lane, and he just kept trotting. So good job by Tyler, and what a Houdini.
We have older qualifiers coming up. I was just trying to remember who Aunt Sarah was related to. Tennessee Tom?
Aunt Sarah is a sister to Tennessee Tom.
Okay, I thought so. She's had a couple of breaking issues so far in her
claim to fame.
3-year-old season. But I think they're getting her. You guys are getting her ready for maybe another Buckeye claiming series, Buckeye Stallion.
Yeah, we kind of went back and forth debating on the Buckeye claiming series or maybe just a maiden because we got 2 fillies in the claiming series that both won at Scioto last week. And I said to Anthony, it depends on how many divisions they have because it's tough to race her against 2 in the barn that honestly right now she can't beat.
Right.
There's 2 down the shed row she can't beat. So we're going to see how she goes today and give us the option. If she raced in the claimer, she didn't have to qualify off the 2 breaks.
Right.
But if we want to go the maiden route, so he said, well, let's throw her in a qualify and see how she goes. So depending on this morning's performance, we'll either try the Buckeye claimer or she can go right into maiden still.
You guys recently added Lasix to her, and then I just saw her go by. Quite the rigging on the inside. Looked like she had a nice big Murphy blind and 2 head pulls. Maybe explain to them watching what exactly that's going to help her with.
She runs in pretty good. She doesn't handle the turns the greatest. She should have a gating strap on the inside or at least a gating pole. She hits the turn and kind of sets herself up and loses a little ground. She's actually better on the big track, but she just had a bad day at Scioto. We trained her before that and thought she was coming into it good. I don't know if the flip-flops made her not get a hold of the track so good. The track was a little loose that night, Brett said, and it was just a bad night for her. But she trained well before that, so we'll see what she does this morning, and like I said, we'll go from there.
It's qualifier number 7. It is for the older horses. Stable horse, Aunt Sarah. She's going to start from post number 2, of course. The sister to Tennessee Tom. Amax doing the driving, and you got another thought.
I got to say hi to Walter and Gemma watching at home.
Oh, there you go. Oh, look at how they are so posted up enjoying their Sunday. I love that.
They love it. They're normally napping by now, but they're watching. They're listening to Dad.
They did the winter open house, and Anthony said, "I'll get you a camera and a mic. You can do like winter circle interviews." And I looked at him. I said, "It's literally negative 10 degrees out. I think I'm gonna have to pass on this one." But Kenny and him did the commentary, and I watched at home. But I'm more of a fair weather kind of gal. It's nice out for today.
After this winter, I don't blame anyone.
Oh gosh, it was brutal. But they're going behind the gate for qualifier number 7. Here's Kenny.
Trotters are making their way behind the gate for race number 7. Here are the changes. Chris Lems on the 1, Harvey Hirschberger on the 4, Darren Harvey on the 5, and Miles Wollum training and driving here for the 7 Fast Dreams. The field of 7 Trotters make the turn. We've reached the second half of the Sunday qualifiers. They're on gate. And they're off and trotting off stride the 6. Oh so fast, lost it there as they head to turn 1 with Sister Sadie crossing over and clearing. A 9-time winner, Sister Sadie makes the front into turn number 1. Dropping over to race in second is Green Hill Spurs. Back in third is Jan's Bar and Grill. Comes out third there, about 3.5 off the leader. Then it's Aunt Sarah. She'll race from fourth early on, half a dozen lengths off the leader. Gapped out Sister Patty. Then comes Fast Dreams and far back to the breaker Oh So Fast as they make their way to an opening quarter in 29 and 1/5 seconds. John Sioka Jr. showing speed with Sister Sadie. Sister Sadie out front off the 2-month break leads 2 lengths. Off stride in the backfield is Fast Dreams. Fast Dreams jumped it off there as they make their way through 3/8 of a mile. Still led up top Sister Sadie with Green Hill Spurs racing in second as they race down bias for the first time. Jan's Bar and Grill races from third. Aunt Sarah patiently handled in lap number 1 by AMAC racing in fourth as they complete the first lap in 59 and 2. So it's a 30 and 1 second quarter. Sister Patty is about 17 lengths away, and then back to the breakers Oh So Fast and Fast Dreams. 3/8 of a mile left to high step as they round turn number 3 and make their way to the backside of the course. Sister Sadie still showing the way, leading by 2. Green Hill Spurs has been tracking throughout, sitting second. It's a gap of 3 more to Jan's Bar and Grill. Aunt Sarah right off the Lems helmet there. Still patiently handled as they make their way to the 3/4 station in 1:28 and 4/5 seconds. Up top, Sister Sadie looking good into the far turn 3 in front. Green Hill Spurs is second. It's well back to Jan's Bar and Grill and Aunt Sarah. They're third and fourth, but about 8 and 9 lengths off the leader with 1/8 of a mile to go. Fifth is Sister Patty as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Sister Sadie's been out front since the word go, and she'll turn 3 lengths in front and roll down here to the finish. Sister Sadie's back a winner. She'll win comfortably in the end. Sister Sadie stops the clock in 1:59. It's Green Hill Spurs second. Aunt Sarah finished up third. Jan's Bar and Grill was fourth.
think we're up. Hello. We are back from Northfield Park on this thankfully
Nice.
sunny Sunday
Overcast
afternoon.
a little bit.
Even yesterday, the forecast was not great.
Well, I wasn't here, so you
Yeah.
have to fill me in.
Like 80% chance of rain.
Ooh.
Yeah. Touch wood so far. We've dodged a bullet for sure.
Yeah. Before we bring Kenny Livingood in, I do want to ask you about a couple of horses you qualified over at the Meadows. I think you sent 5 or 6 over there.
Mm-hmm.
Dublin's Ferrani. I know that Anthony's been pretty high on this one.
Yeah, qualified really well. Got home strong. He was very happy. Pulled a blood on him after. Everything came back good. So all systems go. Maybe heading to No, he's not the one going to Kentucky. He's Ohio bred. That's the filly.
She might be a replace of Perfect Instead.
She's kind of first also eligible behind
Yeah.
Perfect Instead for the next generation. So he was very happy.
And I know Bella Dale made a break, but she was still pretty impressive. I know Anthony's been high on this one all winter long. And I believe she spent some time over with Dr. Brown. They're going to miss that first leg in Kentucky, but ready to rock for July 4th.
She's a very nice filly, fast filly. She had a quarter crack and was blowing something out of the other foot. So she's had her feet issues and just making sure nothing else is bothering her. Right now we're scheduled to bring her back here, and it'll be all systems go and pointing towards the next generation at Scioto.
And then we have Cyrus. I think that's how you say that, right?
Yes.
2 minutes and 4/5. Tactical landing. You guys have had success with tactical landings.
Yeah.
Tactical mounds. And I believe Jailbird Dog is a tactical landing,
Yep,
right?
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was happy. Would have liked him to get home a little bit stronger, but all things considered, shipping over day before and everything, he was happy with him.
It is a lot for them to grasp onto. Like, they're used to being here, getting ready
Right.
in their stall, in their aisleway, coming up here training, going right back home. The Meadows is totally different. You're in a paddock. You got to ship over there.
Yeah, we shipped him over there the night before and then warm him up and new track, new surroundings. All things considered, he was happy.
Prada or not, I think, is the one that you were thinking of. The
Yes.
Chimpanzee.
Yes.
I love how put together the chimpanzees are. Like, he
Right.
was so perfectly put together himself, and he's thrown a limited crop each year, but he always throws a couple of nice ones. This one, 29-1, 59-1, 29-4.
Yeah, Kentucky only. Maybe that handcuffs them a little bit now because they can't go somewhere else, maybe bounce around Ohio or PA or something. But Kentucky only, the chimpanzees. Prada or Nada came out of it good, and he was happy.
And then you had Incredible. This is another Father Patrick.
Yeah, she's another one. She's a little hard on herself, a little headstrong. Behaved well. He put her on the front and qualified good and came out of the race good.
And then Lou Armstrong. I believe this is a homebred. Yep, a homebred
It
for you
is.
guys. Quattro de Julio. Now, I spent a lot of time around Quattro de Julio. I felt like in his 3-year-old season, and he could be a bit of a mean bugger. He wanted to bite anything and everyone that went by him. But I know a lot of people were excited about Lou Armstrong.
Yeah, he qualified really good. Homebred out of a filly. We raced at 2 and 3, My Jazz. She was a really nice 2-year-old. Gave me my first Delaware win.
Ooh, cool.
She won the breeders at 2, and at 3 she just had problem after problem. She had a horrible foot that numerous vets and blacksmiths, and it took us she missed almost her entire stake season. It was just a nightmare. Very nice mare though, and this is her first full. Lou Armstrong, the Quattro de Julio. Yeah, not much else to say. 27-1 on the end, and he was very good. He's being pointed towards the next generation,
That's
July
exciting.
4th at Scioto.
Yeah, that's very exciting. You talk about feet problems. This winter, I feel like it's been tough because it was so cold, and it's frozen tracks and stuff like that, not getting out and having to miss a couple of days just because of how cold it was. But I don't think people realize, like, no foot, no horse. Like, that is the base of your animal, and it's once you get an issue in the foot, you have to make sure you take care of it properly the first 4 or 5 days, because if you don't, then you're coming back 3 or 4 weeks later and having that same issue. Right.
Something will just fester in there, and it just turns into a nightmare. You want to try to address it as quick as you can. And like you said, that's the saying: no foot, no horse. If they have feet problems or their feet are bugging them, you're really going uphill.
Speaking of the winter, you were up in Canada for a lot of it. Was it as cold as up there as it was down here?
It was horrible. It was actually. I think we get a little less snow, but it was a couple degrees colder all the time. 'Cause my wife would be telling me how cold it is, and I'd look and I'd be like, it's colder here.
I woke up
was
every
horrible.
day hoping it was just in double digits. Like, is it gonna get above 10 degrees?
Yeah,
Like,
it was
I picked
terrible.
a heck of a winter to quit my inside job.
It was horrible. I don't know.
I think we're gonna bring in Kenny,
The professional.
the professional
Kenny's
over
not used to
there.
working this early. I
I'm
don't
so
know,
glad that he's
off
doing
his
all the
game right
math
now.
for us. Kenny, fresh off of the Battle of Lake Erie, phenomenal call.
Great call.
How exciting
Thank
was
you.
that?
Every year the battle is the pinnacle race of the year here, so it's exciting. It's the summer event. It was number 40. That was my 4th. So yeah, and it was a little cool piece of history that something I grew up always wanting to do was call big races, and I'm now one of just 3 people that have ever called this track's biggest event.
Wow.
That's exciting. Definitely exciting.
Do you get a little more? I mean, I know myself. I sat and watched the whole card at Mohawk last night. Yeah, even the overnights. It was just something about it. A great card. Do you get a little more juiced up watching and announcing these big races more than now? The Wednesday night card. There are meat and potatoes. We need them. We need those horses to race all winter and all spring. But the stake races, it's got to be more exciting for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely get more fired up. You want to deliver a call. That's when the most eyes are watching, even if not necessarily betting, but the most eyes in the sport are watching. So, and it's calls that will stick with these horses down the road, years to come. When they do sire videos, there's a potential that is the race call that's used to, promote a certain horse's breeding. So, yeah, it's definitely a call you want to deliver. Obviously, I try to deliver 100% every call, but let's be honest, we race 3,000 races a year here. There's certainly some bad ones in there, but trying to give 110 for sure on the stakes ones.
Yeah, your 15th call on a Monday night might be a little different than the battle.
The 15th call might be pretty bad tonight. Anthony got me up early for this.
Yeah, you might
I'm
be
usually still in bed by
I
then.
will
Need a
say-
and a nap maybe.
Yeah.
I will say, I will give kudos to you because you do make just about every race exciting. And I think that's important because the same amount of work goes into a maiden as it does, those big race horses. So I think a lot of people appreciate that.
Yeah, I try to. If I let the race call determine my excitement level for the race. Obviously, you're always just going to have more juices flowing for something that's a $50,000 race or 75, or even the battle, for example. But even on the undercard, if you get 2 horses that peel away going to 3/4, you're going to get fired up because I'm still a fan of the sport. I still love horse racing, and getting to know the guys. I know they want to win just as much as anybody. So, yeah, I think anything that I can do to help the race, have more excitement. If they line up single file and the favorites are 1-2, it's kind of going to be a little bit more of a lackadaisical call, but it is more of a lackadaisical. It's a lineup
Yeah,
number
there's only
race.
so much you can do. If
Right.
the favorites line up in order, you're calling the race, but it is what it is. It's not super exciting, but that's racing. But like you said, the battle, another great call this year, another great race.
Yeah.
Always, I don't know if it's the half mile part of it or what, but it's always a great race.
The half mile on the trailer makes such a difference. The guys get out and moving here quick, and
Yeah, if you think you got a horse, you got to be on the move. You can't risk getting caught in 3rd or 4th on the inside, even with the passing lane. It's just too tough.
What were your thoughts on the North America Cup?
I thought it was a heck of a finish. You had the big shots. That's what everybody wanted. You had Bojangles, you had odds on Mr. Mamba and Brandon Boulevard all throw down to the finish, and Al Poppy at the inside. So 4 across with 70 yards to go. You couldn't ask for a better job, and Chad nailed it like he always does, and the Indiana horse gets it done.
The Milstein, is that an invitational race?
It is an invitational. We're fingers crossed. We'll see. There's a chance Bojangles might come. It's a small chance, but Dr. Ian Moore did not rule it out. So
He does like to support Northfield Park in Ohio. Ohio, nonetheless, Northfield Park, and he's had success. So
He
Yeah,
won
he's
it
always
last year.
brought horses here. Prince Al was here last
Yeah.
week. Obviously, he's been a big supporter of the Jug.
he had a mare the filly win a couple of years ago. I
Yeah,
cannot think
David
of her
drove
name.
her.
Yeah, I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
She was the
can't
two
think now.
horse.
Hmm?
She was the 2 horse.
Yeah, odds on something.
It was odds on something.
Odds on David Miller.
Odds on-
David.
That's usually a good bet in Ohio.
Odds on
Yeah.
purple. Someone needs to name it.
Odds on platinum.
Platinum. Yeah, there we go.
See,
Ah.
purple, platinum. See,
See,
we got it. We know we're
good thing
doing
we
it.
got announcers around here to remember
Right.
horse names.
But yeah, Ian's always been a supporter of Ohio and stuff. Buys some Ohio breds. He's had some good ones, Clever Cody and a couple others. So it'd be really cool. He's a world class horse, and it'd be nice to have him here.
Yeah, and I think they're targeting the jug, so maybe get a start on the half mile before you go over to Delaware. So,
Yeah.
and I do want to say I'm glad to hear that Dr. Ian Moore is okay after his incident. Hopefully, Sarah Sponset heals up pretty quickly. Just want
Yeah,
to mention
scary
that
incident
training
Friday night
accident.
at Mohawk. Just warming up. Obviously, there's been some bad accidents the last few months here. The one at Scioto, and just goes to show you, maybe people take for granted what we do, and anything can happen anytime. They're still 1,000-pound animals, and two professionals like Ian Moore and Sarah, and just a freak accident and got hurt.
I think it's a friendly reminder too that they're not machines.
No.
They're not Cadillacs, and they're not push button by any means. And it was just a freak thing to happen. But I did read that Sarah was doing okay. She had a little bit of pain, but we wish them a speedy recovery. I know Doc had vet wrap around his arm last night in true horseman fashion.
Yeah, I think it would have took an awful lot for him to miss that race
No,
last night.
for sure.
So good to see him make the race, and he came up a little short and finished third, but his horse raced great.
And speaking of his horses, Prince Al Hanover went a heck of a trip as well.
He raced great again last night. He's just a great horse. He raced super here the week before. I thought Kaylee gave him a great drive, didn't get caught up in the speed, and came up a little short, and he raced super again last night.
I give a shout out to the harness racing update. They do the Choose and Training every year. He is one of my favorite ones to look out for because he just gives so much insight to everything he does. But he's also a veterinarian, so you kind of look and see how he trains upon how maybe he would assess on the vet side of things. But he's one I look forward to every single year. They do such a great job with those.
And Doc's actually been, with so many tracks going the same night in Ontario and stuff, he's actually gone to like Flamborough Downs and places this spring, being the track veterinarian at night.
Wow.
Like he doesn't have enough stuff to do.
Right.
So running his stable. So he's done the track veterinarian at several tracks this year at night.
Kenny, you said this was your fourth battle, so you've been here 4 years, or
So it's 3 years, but it turns out to be 4 races because I showed up literally the week before the battle.
Ooh.
When Lauren Tritton won. So
yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten some. I mean, I feel like all 4 have been great. We had Lauren as the first female to win, and then the race completely changed when Ruthless Hanover breaks in the first turn, and then the year after that, Little Rocket Man got his kind of redemption in his third battle, and then this year with I'm totally drawing a blank. Mostel Ben. He got his redemption because he was the favorite the year before and he broke. So,
Right.
And good for Jim Marone. And although I think one more stride, Prince Al. I still have the photo sitting here in the announcer's booth because I got a little ahead of myself calling the photo. I thought Mostel Ben was going to hold him off by probably about half a length was what I kind of measured out. And then they got to the finish, and I was certainly not 100% when they crossed the wire.
You might have actually got more views if you made the wrong call.
Yeah, I have done. It has happened before. It's something we don't like to do that.
It's tough because you're trying to give Mosdale Ben his credit, and a little celebration, and oh geez, Prince Al's coming.
Yeah, that's kind. I have the video on Facebook, and if you have not watched it, I do encourage you. I'll promote myself there for a second, but
absolutely.
You can see me kind of at the finish. I look back to look at the TV, like, did I get that right? Because outside people can't see, but I'm about 30 feet past the finish line here, so
yeah.
It's a very biased view. So the camera, which is significantly further left, gives a much better view of it.
Well, we're ready to roll for race 8 here, qualifier number 8, and we'll let you get back to your job.
Thanks, guys. No changes here in the 8th race. Case Bateson for Karen Free with the 1, Better Be Hoppin', 2, Chips Ahoy Hanover, Anthony McDonald for Jason McGinnis, Comper Tomahawk, Noah Newman for Scott Cox, Jerry Miller drives and trains in the plan, Dame Hanover, Tyler Angus for Jason McGinnis, and Popular Expert Logan Ebersol for Jason McGinnis. They're off and trotting. And all the barn mates begin well. Chips Ahoy Hanover, Dame Hanover, and Popular Expert far outside, and Better Be Hoppin' holds down the rail. The daughter of In Range is away in third, but it's the stable team who will line up 1-2 as they head to the backstretch. Chips Ahoy Hanover off the wings nicely and has the lead a length and a half as they step onto the backstretch. Dame Hanover comes out second. Better Be Hoppin' is third. Inline fourth for Comper Tomahawk. Then comes In the Plan, and the trailer is Popular Expert. The son of What the Hill takes residence at the back of the field. 31-1, pretty quick enough opening quarter for these 2-year-old trotters, led up top by the son of Captain Corey. Chips Ahoy Hanover. Out front there, Dame Hanover in second, a length and a half behind. So these 2 Hanover Shoe Farm breds are 1-2. In line third for Better Be Hoppin'. Gap of 3, Copper Tomahawk races in 4th. Now Ebersol is going to get underway with Popular Expert from last. Moves outside of In the Plan. They trot in front of the stands, chasing Chips Ahoy Hanover. AMAC with a very tight hold of Chips Ahoy. Gets them down to the halfway point in 103 and 1. So they do back it down in quarter number 2. It's a 32 second quarter. Chips Ahoy Hanover leads the way with 3/8 of a mile to trot. Still second, Dame Hanover, the daughter of international money, trots at the cones in third. Is Better Be Hoppin'. To the outside, Popular Expert is fourth. Copper Tomahawk is in line fifth and dropping back one spot, and the trailer is In the Plan as they make their way to 3/4. Chips Ahoy Hanover's been there since the word go, and Dame Hanover's been stalking from the pocket throughout. Third is Better Be Hoppin'. 3/4 posted, 132 and 4. They pick it up again as Chips Ahoy Hanover heads into the far turn, moving nicely. Dame Hanover still second. Back in third is Better Be Hoppin'. It's 4 lengths back. Popular Expert is fourth. Fifth is Copper Tomahawk, and the trailer is In the Plan. They make their way to the top of the stretch. The stable are going to be 1-2. It's can Dame Hanover catch Chips Ahoy Hanover, who turns first. Dame Hanover swings off the AMAC helmet, and Dame Hanover finishing up strongly down the center to win it. Dame Hanover, Chips Ahoy Hanover, Better Be Hoppin', and Popular Expert 202 and 2.
Qualifier number 8 in the books. A trio in there for the stable, Jason. Chips Ahoy Hanover, Dame Hanover, Popular Expert. I said to you, Chips Ahoy Hanover looked like a bit of a handful for Anthony, but all in all, I thought he qualified well.
Yeah, he was a little excited getting out of there, but he was able to back him down. Overall, a good mile, 2-2, strong finish. I thought he was good. He just got out sprinted by the international money filly in Tyler Angus, Dame Hanover.
Another, I think this may be a second or third crop, Captain Corey. Of course, one of Aki Svanstead pupils. That'll be, that's who he is by, out of a nice muscle, massive mare. Comes from a nice family we were just looking over. Cecil Hanover, of course, another Aki Svanstead trainee, 685,000, and then comes from the family of Atlanta. So lots to like about that.
Yeah, no, definitely a strong pedigree, and I believe second crop, Captain Corey.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's second, yeah. So, no, good mile and exciting to see.
And then Dame Hanover. This was an early purchase. I just asked what PEO meant, Preferred Equine Online. Of course, David Reed's doing there, but another Hanover Shoe Farm bred horse. This is affiliated by International Money. Sat the pocket, never really gave up any lengths on Anthony, and then popped the pocket, and she trotted home nicely.
Yeah, no, finished up really well, and for Tyler Angus to get her around with no hobbles on says something about her. She's very good gated. That's a huge win.
And then Popular Expert, she got away back with Logan, and then she gave him a little bit of trot there late in the stretch as well. So he is a guy by What the Hill, a bargain price of $8,000 from the Ohio Select Sale.
Yeah, he's not a bad little colt. He got away at the back and passed some, and Logan did a good job, as he usually does, and pretty happy with him.
Qualifier number 9 is up next. It's for the older horses, and we're going to see a stable horse in Foxy Seaside. Quite the interesting story behind Foxy Seaside. You guys have raced her, primarily throughout her career. She's 4 now, daughter of Down by the Seaside. She has 35 lifetime starts, 6 wins. She's closing in on that $60,000 earnings lifetime, and she had an odd case pop up. Like, I know that you guys turned her out, and she come back, and did she come back and she was sick, or you turned her out and something along the lines of that?
I don't know if it exactly happened while she was out or when she came back in, but she ended up having a sinus problem and ended up at the University of Ohio, and she's had a long road back. I mean, she hasn't raced since November. She did have a qualifier last week. Anthony took her to the back, finished 7th, got away 7th, finished 7th, but 2 minutes, and that's all she was kind of ready to go. So hopefully she's kind of getting her legs back under her and can go a little bit more here this morning.
Yeah, that was an interesting case. I know I was keeping up, of course, with the videos by Anthony. So far, how do you think the morning is going?
Good, good. I'm up here in the AC or whatever we got, and everybody's back there. I know my man Jason Merriman's probably sweating in the paddock.
He'll be all right, right?
Yeah, he'll be fine. No, I don't think.
It's not as hot as it was last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year was bad. No, I think everything's gone good. The horses overall have been good. I don't think we've had any mistakes yet. So far so good.
What about your thoughts? I know Anthony was kind of one of the maybe the masterminds behind this, but the claiming part of the Buckeye Stallion series, I think it gives another level. Well, obviously gives another level for the state of Ohio. So you got the fair circuit, Buckeye claiming, the Buckeye Stallion, and then the Sire Stakes. The first week they had the Buckeye claiming, I think everybody and their mother entered into it, and they realized maybe that's not the way to go. But I do think it does help some of those horses that are a little bit better than the fair horses, not quite Sire Stake horses either.
Yeah, we had 4 wins there a week ago in them. I think they're great. It does give you a spot, and you know the first Buckeye for Judy's Money in particular. She raced the first Buckeye here. They went 56-1. She finished 5th, I think. And we took her to race her back once more. We took her to Scioto. I think she was 1-9, and raced like a 1-9 shot. Luke Hanners drove her, winning 56 flat with the earplugs in. It's just a third tier, you know. I think when you get really good horses, like you know the 3-year-olds Burke has had, maybe a colt like Big Ranger or something like that, people tend to get a little scared, so maybe they go to the Buckeye. So the Buckeyes nowadays here are no joke.
No.
Like, they are tough, and it gives you a spot where yes, you have to risk losing your horse, but I think they're fairly priced at $25,000.
It's a good price.
It gives it's right in the middle, and it's honestly what they're worth.
I have seen a couple of sneaky moves by some horsemen. I think it's like now when there's a 1 to be claimed for a 10 with allowance, it's like 15,000. Anyways, they can go right into those Buckeye claiming,
Yep.
and if someone wants to claim them, that's a free $10,000.
Absolutely,
because,
absolutely.
You know, you got to pay attention by that. But they just have to go so fast all of the time, and it's almost unfair for those horses who do deserve to kind of be on the pari-mutuel tracks. You know what I mean?
For a 3-year-old colt pacer to be a solid Buckeye horse, and by solid I mean he can be 1, 2, 3. I think you got to pace 50, 51 at Scioto.
Yeah, you
and
do.
it just there's some horses that it gives you a place to race your 52, 53, 54 pacer.
Yeah.
It gives you a spot to race them, and
that you don't maybe want to go around those fair tracks with.
Yeah, if they're a little big, or you don't want to travel to the fairs, or you don't pay into the fairs, it definitely gives you an option. I'm a huge fan, and I wish Ontario would develop the same thing.
I think maybe after this year, more jurisdictions will look at it like that because it gives more options. And with the amount of horses being bred these days, it gives everybody a chance to race. You know, there's a lot of money that gets put back into the stakes program, whether it is, you know, the fairs, the Buckeye, the Sire Stakes, and so on and so forth. Qualifier Up 9 is up next. It's for the older horses.
It's always nice when you get a text back from King James here. I messaged him 4 hours ago, but he probably had a late night.
He was probably sleeping or, you know, maybe a little.
Congrats again to James McDonald, my hero.
There's Kenny with the call, race 9.
Here are the changes here in this 9th. Case Bateson on the 1, Southwind Judge. Harvey Hirschberg in the 3, TSM Sergeant Wolfie. Ed Conrad for the 5, Yankee Moonlight. And Rick Mapes will drive the 6 Star Scream. Here they come. And they're off and pacing. Very level beginning. From the inside, Southwind Judge and Foxy Seaside both show a bit of speed. Yankee Moonlight pushing forward while 3 wide. Far outside, Elite Options on the go for Rhodes, looking for some forward position. Mid-pack early on. Then it's the team of Bounty Delight and Star Scream, who's marching forward uncovered. Star Scream up and around, drifting out a touch as they entered the backstretch. Out the back are TSM Sergeant Wolfie in the trailer Best Shadow. Star Scream moving to the front. Opening quarter 28-2 here, Star Scream, who raced very well just a couple of nights ago before the break. Star Scream crosses over and clears by 2. Foxy Seaside will pocket up here. The Daughter of Down by the Seaside is second. Yankee Moonlight third. Following in fourth is Southwind Judge, and Case Bateson's going to slide off the rail.
qualifier number 10 is up next. We're on the pace this time, scratched onto a field of 5. Jessica and Jason McGinnis back with you. We just saw a look. Oh, there he is on your screen. Spring Ice. This is a roan gelding by Summa Cum Laude. I was just asking you off camera or off air if you had any Summa Cum Laudes. I think for his first crop last year, I thought overall it was a nice crop. We have a Summa Cum Laude. She made $50,000 last year racing at the fairs. But I think that he's been a nice addition to Ohio.
Yeah, he's kind of that, fill the role of that maybe middle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now in Ohio, we have Blueprint standing here now, but they
Yeah,
won't show up for a few years.
Right.
But right now, you kind of have Down by the Seaside, then you have everybody else.
Right.
So just another horse to kind of, fill that role of a nice horse that might be affordable for a lot of people. And we had one, and he was an okay little horse for us. So interested to see this guy. We had his Dancing Yankee sister, I'm Fancy Like, who's up to 155,000 and a mark of 152.
I was just going to ask you about that. I know you guys had I'm Fancy Like. When you get siblings out of the sale, do you ever kind of go into it thinking, I wonder if you're going to be like your sibling, like maybe the quirks and the attitude type of thing, or do you just kind of start with a clean slate?
It all depends. It depends on the horse. I think maybe trotters, for whatever reason, you'll see it a little bit more.
Okay.
This guy's really not like the filly was. She'd see dead people, and she was kind of hot. And this guy's lazy, if anything. So far, not a... look at Anthony going with 2 odd wheels. That would drive him insane. I love it.
Oh, boy.
One's got the white tire, and one's had to be swapped out. We must have a flat. I love it, because he'd just be driving him nuts.
His little OCD, maybe.
That
actually would drive me nuts.
This
too,
made
I'm
the
not
whole
gonna
day.
lie.
I'm having to drive with 2 different wheels.
You guys also sent out the 6. That's going to be Kurt. This is an Always Be Mickey out of a Rock and Roll Heaven mare. Sent to you guys. I actually know the owner, Stefan Brochu, from Michigan. But you guys got him a couple of months ago, maybe.
I think he came in a little late, yeah. I haven't trained him, so I don't know that much about him, to be perfectly honest. And I think he's been going okay, and Justin Irvine's going to get the call today.
It looks like he's not the biggest of guys out there either.
No,
so
he's
we'll
a little
kinda
guy.
see.
He is still a stud, and he thinks he's a little bit bigger than he is.
He's got the attitude, maybe. Of
Yeah.
a stud.
Might have a little small man complex or something. I don't know.
Small.
But he knows he's a stud. He's a good feeling little horse.
All right, here's qualifier number 10 on the pace. There's Kenny.
Number 1, King on Campus, Braden Rhodes. For Jason Elzer. 2, Spring Ice, Anthony McDonald for Jason McGinnis. 3, CPF Wash and Rinse, Eli Schwartzentruber for Karen Freed. 4, J.K. Monty, Chris Lems for Scott Cox, scratch the 5. And the 6, Kurt, Justin Irvine for Jason McGinnis. The field of 5 2-year-old pacers. Sent on their way, and it's Kurt who gets the first call off the wings, but right to that one's inside is J.K. Monty showing speed in from the rail, King on Campus. So they're 3 across as they head into the opening turn, as Kurt is deep on the course but progressing nicely 3 wide. Also mixing it up with them was Spring Ice. Spring Ice trying to go forward for AMAC, and 5th is CPF Wash and Rinse. They're only about 4 lengths separated, though, as they move on to the backstretch, and Kurt will cross over and clear. So it's Kurt and Justin Irvine out front now. Spring Ice outside of J.K. Monty. They're 2nd and 3rd. Opening quarter, 30 and 1/5 seconds. 4th along the inside is King on Campus, and CPF Wash and Rinse is 5 lengths off the leader. And here's the barnmate, Spring Ice. So the McGinnis trainees are 1-2 now as Spring Ice crosses over Kurt, who's going to settle up 2nd. J.K. Monty still 3rd. King on Campus, and out the back, CPF Wash and Rinse. So AMAC made that mid-race move to the frontier with Spring Ice. Son of Summa Cum Laude out front. 2nd is Kurt, and they complete lap number 1 in 101-1. AMAC going to work, though, already on Spring Ice, asking for some more speed. 2nd is Kurt as they bend around turn number 3. J.K. Monty, half in, half out there from 3rd with 3.5 lengths to pick up. Then comes King on Campus and CPF Wash and Rinse at the back. Inside 3/8 to go. Kurt's ready to pull the pocket, it looks like, on Spring Ice as they enter the backstretch. Spring Ice with the lead. Kurt still 2nd. 3rd, J.K. Monty as they take a bit closer order. And now Kurt is given the green light to launch his attack on Spring Ice as they pass 3/4 together in 1:31 and 2. It's Kurt who's taken over. He got rough. Kurt lost it. Kurt went on the run there. So Spring Ice has a 2-length lead. J.K. Monty is second. Kurt is quickly regathered himself. Now he's back in third. Then comes King on Campus and CPF Wash and Rinse. Coming to the top of the stretch, Spring Ice off the turn with the lead. Kurt trying very hard down the center. In between them is J.K. Monty. Yards to go. Spring Ice is going to win it. Spring Ice by a length and a half. Second to J.K. Monty. A touch on the line there. Kurt showed nice speed and re-rallied third in 2:01 and 1.
Well, qualifier number 10 is in the books. Thoughts on those ones? Spring Ice minded his manners. He kind of got a little lazy there, but then looked like he was pretty good.
Yeah, once the horses came to him, I was really surprised at Kurt making a little mistake on Justin there. I didn't see that coming, but I mean, if you're wearing a training suit and hey dudes, those things are going to happen.
He was looking down at the horse's feet, or in between his legs, maybe get some feedback from him later. But yeah, the hey dudes. He actually, fun fact, forgot his boots the other night at Scioto. He left him sitting in the middle of the Meadows paddock, called me in a panic to ask for someone's number, took someone's boots out of the driver's room, and then Barry Vickroy did have to make a little fun of him. So, deservingly so when you forget your boots.
You drive it 2 tracks full time and one a little bit, just buy more boots.
Yeah.
Just have an extra pair of boots.
Buy more boots.
Come on.
You hear that, Justin?
Be professional.
Come off that wall and buy a couple more pairs of boots. Qualifier number 11's up next. It is for the older horses. A horse that you guys have in here we just saw go by us. That's a 6 Sassy Rose. Stacy Van Heusen. You guys do a lot of work with her and Brett down south. They've got Save America right now, and I think she kind of swapped this one out for him because she was having some issues with him again, getting a different opinion on him. What do you think of her?
Yeah, 3-year-old Marseille filly. Stacy actually never raced her, so shows a lot of breaks. Hasn't raced since August. We've had her a little bit. She's been training. Anthony's gone with her a few times. Trained her the other day and said she was good, so put her into qualify. Done some tinkering. We had like 2 head poles on the inside at one point. She ended up with 2 line poles and a Murphy on the outside. I trained her here about 10 days ago, and the track was really hard. They were calling for rain, and she didn't like it. She wanted to pace, and she just didn't have a good day. But she came back in the bike the other day and was strong and put in to qualify, so hopefully we can get her around.
For those listening, what happens from here the rest of the day? They go back, they get a bath, they get put away. Do you guys have the vets look over them today, tomorrow? Any concerns like with maybe one didn't qualify as good as you'd hope, scope, blood, stuff like that? What does the rest of today, maybe tomorrow, look like?
We'll probably have a list for the vet. If anybody made any noise pulling up or anybody was weaker than they probably should have been, we'll run a scope into them. We're going to jog everybody tomorrow and take Tuesday off. Normally we do, after the open house, we'll take the following day off. But we have 5 in here tomorrow night, so me and my co-captain, Jason Merriman, we elected to, he just sent me a heart too.
So nice of him.
No, we get along. And we elected to work Sunday and Monday and take Tuesday off. So we'll jog these guys tomorrow, make sure everybody came out of it okay, and go from there.
All right, qualifier number 11's up next. It's for the older horses. Here's Kenny.
Braden Rhodes drives the 1 Con Charisma, and Bob Rowland drives the 2 Hydro Plain Henry. It's a field of 7 trotters. Our last older horse group, and then we'll have freshman trotters to wrap up our Sunday qualifiers here for the Stable Open House. Off stride right at the start went the 1 Con Charisma and the 3 TWMZ1. Both make miscues at the start. It's a good, clean, quick beginning for Hydro Plain and Henry. An 8-time winner a season ago, Hydro Plain and Henry is a 3-length leader as they head around the first turn. Black Satin, she'll come out trotting in second. Getting away third is Sassy Rose. AMAC has her along the cones as moving to the front is Black Satin. Fourth early on for Blazing Star. 5 lengths back, Line of Sight races in 5th. Then it's Con Charisma in 6th. And far back, still galloping TWMZ1. Opening quarter bound in 30 and 2 5th seconds. Black Satin has moved to the frontier. It's the Daughter of Mission Accepted. Black Satin out front here for Lems. Back in the second position is Hydro Plain and Henry. Gap of about 6 lengths back to Sassy Rose. Races loosely in the third position as they trot single file. Blazing Star races from 4th and some 8 or 9 lengths off the leader Black Satin down to the half. Then Line of Sight and Con Charisma far back TWMZ1. Opening half mile in 101. Black Satin inside half a mile from home leads by 3. Hydro Plain and Henry and Bob Rowland racing from the second spot. It's still a distance back to Sassy Rose racing in third. Fourth is Blazing Star. Line of Sight flanked now by Con Charisma. as they enter the backstretch and head to 3/4. With the advantage, Black Satin, 3 lengths in front. She made that move to the lead going to the quarter, and she's been there since. Back in second, Hydroplane and Henry. Sassy Rose still third. Up to fourth, Blazing Stars. They're off 3/4 in 1:30 and 3. There's less than a quarter mile to trot as they round the far turn. Black Satin leads by 2. Hydroplane and Henry just cutting into the margin ever so slightly with 1/8 of a mile more to come. Sassy Rose still third. Con Charisma's up to fourth as they turn for home. A Black Satin with a 3-length lead and a convincing 11th qualifier score. Black Satin wins easily by 3 in the end. Hydroplane and Henry is second. Sassy Rose is third. Then Blazing Star, Con Charisma in line of sight. Time of the mile, 2 minutes, 1/5.
The final qualifier on the track. We're on the trot this time. Jason McGinnis just gotten back with you. One final qualifier, a field of 6. We've got a trio in here. We'll start with the 1, PJ's Lovin', affiliated by Father Patrick, out of a Conway Hallmare, Cherry Lovin', $26,000 Harrisburg purchase.
Yeah, she's a sister to Cherry's girl that we have, the Captain Corey filly that's had some luck up in Shenandoah Downs. She was second in the final last year and this year. Kind of a nice filly. PJ's a nice filly. I've trained her a couple times, trained her in the bike a few times. She's nice. She wants to go. She's got a good attitude and trots nice. Justin Irvine from Post 1.
She looks like a lot of the Captain Corey's. Long legs,
Yeah.
nice body, nicely put together.
She's actually, they got it on. That's my man Jason doing a great job again. I said, make sure she's in the big bike and out long.
Oh.
Surprisingly, she'll hit
She's
your
kinda
foot.
little, on the little
She is,
side.
and I put her in the bike one day, and she hit my foot train
Oh,
and got a
wow.
little revved up. So I said, make sure she's in the big bike.
Oh, we can't have one hitting the hay dude. In a
No,
smaller
yeah, we don't want to
bike.
knock the
We
hay dude right off his foot.
Cannot knock the hay dude off.
Pig
Cover
farmer.
My Short. This is a homebred for TheStable by Green Shoe out of Eyes of 10. My initial thought, the green shoes get better with age. I feel like they can be a bit on the warm side. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Warm's putting it nicely. Anthony loves them. I've never been the biggest fan. They have a mind of their own.
They do.
When they want to behave, they can go. They're fast. I mean, he was erratic, to put it nicely. Scary, scary fast. And definitely had a mind of his own. I think pretty much the only time he got beat, except the Hambo, he made breaks.
Yeah.
Definitely a handful his whole career, but scary fast. And they have an attitude about them, that's for sure. This little guy doesn't seem to have that kind of attitude. He's got a good attitude. He seems like a nice little colt so far.
You guys have Hanger One. You know, he's over racing over at the Meadows with Andy Rickert. He's a green shoe, right?
I think so, yes.
Full brother to Go Dog
Go Dog Go.
Who was erratic as well. And
Right.
He's now 4, and I think he's gonna continue to get better.
Yeah, very fast horse. He made a big move the other night. Raced very good at the Meadowlands.
Yeah,
Was
finished
second.
behind Super Chapter.
Yeah, Super Chapter raced great. Go Dog Go was coming on the end. He's another one. You know, he's been scary fast his whole career. Go Dog Go. I don't think Hanger One has that kind of speed, but he can have the attitude.
Rose Run Chief, Tyler Angus will do the driving. This is a Volstead out of a DeJarmbro mare. Rose Run value $13,000 Ohio Select purchase for this one, and if memory serves me right, maybe a bit of an underdog.
Yeah, no, he's not a bad little colt. Tyler's gone with him a few times, and we've had a couple Volsteads, not too bad. We've had a little bit of luck with them, and I think this guy will be okay today.
How many times do they see the gate before they come to the qualifier?
Depends on the horse. Ours have all seen it at least twice, I would say. And, you know, that's a big advantage of being here at Northfield. Northfield puts the schoolers on the entire month of May. Every Wednesday at 11 o'clock, the gate goes out, and they'll have as many schoolers as there are horses to go. And if you get rained out on Wednesday, which it did one week, then they'll go on Saturday. So it's a big advantage for people like us with a lot of horses. We don't have to ship somewhere to school. I know at farms and stuff, people kind of make their own gate and let them see something. But big advantage to us that we can train here, you know, the entire month of May behind the gate.
And we haven't gotten any bad reports either, so I'm assuming they probably all handled going up to the paddock, standing up there. It's about a 40-ish minute wait with the way qualifiers are running, but it's a whole new world when they have to go and stand up there.
Yeah, it's different. They're used to going to the barn, warming up, back to their own stall, and then going out and training. And today they have to go up in the paddock, and it's you see some of them when they go to Sauda or somewhere, they'll develop new habits, hopefully no bad ones, but when they just change the routine. So different for today, and you know, everybody back there doing a great job. I haven't heard any horror stories.
Yeah.
So they're either hiding them from me or just haven't had anything bad happen.
They do like a routine. I know people think I'm crazy when I say that. Non-horse people think I'm a little crazy when I say each horse has their own personality, and they have their own routine, and they thrive off of that. So when you kind of get them out of their routine and their rhythm, it throws them off. They're just like a human.
Absolutely, yeah. And you see some of the horses that'll go and relax. Like you talk about next generation, it's early in the schedule, and there'll be a 6-hour retention in the paddock at Scioto, and a lot of them will be their first time there. So you just hope they relax and stay calm, and don't stand there and shake and sweat for 6 hours.
The final qualifier is behind the gate. We'll be back with a little bit of reaction before we close things out. Kenny has your call.
No changes here in our 12th qualifier. PJ's Lovin, Justin Irvine for Jason McGinnis. Hat Trick Hanover, Logan Ebersol, trains and drives. Anthony McDonald for Jason McGinnis. The 3 Cover My Short. 4 Judea. Darren Harvey drives and trains. 5 Walstead. Eli Schwartzentruber for Jerry Miller. And Rose Run Chief, Tyler Angus for Jason McGinnis. Thank you all for watching our Sunday qualifiers. And they're off and trotting in the finale. Hat Trick Hanover shows speed with Cover My Short and a Walstead. Toward the inside is PJ's Lovin, who's going to cut the corner and accelerate on through. PJ's Lovin so far getting through turn number 1 with the lead. Cover My Short on the outside. Racing from third is Hat Trick Hanover, trying to squeeze into that spot. Goes Cover My Short, so PJ's Lovin' will cut the mile early. Cover My Short is second. Hat Trick Hanover is third. 2 lengths back, Judea races from fourth. Then it's Wallstead, the only one with experience, as he had to start at the Paulding Fair. And Rose Run Chief is the caboose. Opening quarter, 31-3. To the far turn for the first time, it's PJ's Lovin', the daughter of Father Patrick, out front here. A length and a half from Cover My Short, son of Green Shoe. McGinnis trainees are 1-2 with 5/8 of a mile to go. Hat Trick Hanover in line third. The son of International Monies, 2 lengths better than Judea. She races from fourth. It's a gap of 2 more to Wallstead, and Rose Run Chief is last of them all. Single file down to the half. PJ's Lovin' gets him halfway home in 102-2. PJ's Lovin' shows the way. Second is Cover My Short. Third, Hat Trick Hanover. The top 3 have been unchanged throughout. Judea still racing in fourth. 2 more lengths back to Wallstead and Rose Run Chief at the back of affairs, but moving to the outside. A bit rough there around that turn, but nonetheless holding steady as they race onto the backstretch. And PJ's Lovin' leads by 2. Nudged along second is Cover My Short. Rose Run Chief showing nice speed on the outside up into third. Outside of Hat Trick Hanover as they're off 3/4 in 133-1. To the far turn they go. PJ's Lovin' well clear. 4 lengths in front. The stable 1-2-3 as Rose Run Chief just went up into second past Cover My Short, who's third. Hat Trick Hanover has dropped back to fourth, then Judea and Wallstead. But as they turn for home, PJ's Lovin' all alone for the final 100 yards. It's PJ's Lovin'. PJ's Lovin' by 5. Wins it in style. Rose Run Chief second. Up third is Judea, then Cover My Short, Hat Trick Hanover, and Wallstead. It's the Hey Dude Man in 202-4.
202-4 to end the qualifying day, open house day for the TheStable.ca. PJ's Lovin'. She can trot.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised at all. She's one I've gone with in the bike a few times and came a half in a minute with her one day. I think we videoed behind the gate maybe. Not surprised at that at all. She's a very nice filly, and the Hey Dudes, if she'd have made a break, we'd have probably put the Hey Dudes on his hands instead of gloves. But no, he got her around. She's a nice filly.
Like we had mentioned, all alone on the front end with an ear hood on, and maybe for people who are watching that don't know, that's to basically, zone out the noise, and
Right.
she did it with ease.
Yeah, the day I moved her, I won the set. I think I came a half in a minute, and I never moved. Literally didn't move. And Anthony said, just go easy with her. She's been lots. I said, okay, and I didn't slide her out till the turn, and she just blew right by and did it all on her own. Very professional filly, very smart, and so far a lot of ability.
Rose Run Chief, he got away last, but he made a big move up the backside. And I can hear you saying, easy Tyler, easy Tyler.
Easy Tyler.
But
Tyler got his
was
trotting
good.
gloves on today. I'm impressed.
that was good.
No, he looked good, and again, $13,000 Volstead. He closed up well. Sat last, got gapped out a little bit, and finished strong. He looked good.
Yeah, and then the homebred, Cover My Short, sat the pocket. I think got passed late
I think
by Rose Run Chief.
Yeah, and I think Darren Harvey might have caught him
Yeah.
for third there. He was one that was a little sick here about 10 days ago, so he might not fully be over it. It'll be interesting to see. He'll be one we'll scope today or tomorrow. Interesting to see, but a little flat in the end, but still a good mile and behaved. I think we had one breaker today, and that was the pacer.
The Hey Dude guy.
They
Overall, if you had to grade how today went, how would you grade it?
I mean, I'd have to give it an A. I thought everybody was really good. They looked good, and like I said, I haven't heard any stories about any misbehaving back there. I got the easy job. Everybody back there's been running around. Got here early this morning to get all the older horses jogged, and whether it be the riders or the grooms or a couple extra people we called in to help. Everybody does a great job. They always do. We got a Mr. Battle Lake Erie Kenny coming in early in the morning to
You
announce.
better go get a nap.
Now, yeah, he need a nap, a little soup maybe for his throat. He's got a long night ahead of him. And, everybody just goes above and beyond. Like I said, we had to fly you in by helicopter, so that was cool.
Glad we didn't get into the pond. We landed.
Yeah,
in the
no, there's
infield.
lots of room here.
Yeah.
Only 27
just
races
a huge
to
thank
call
you
today.
to everybody. Everybody does a great job all the time with the horses. So, we really appreciate it.
Off the top of your head, do you know how many are left maybe to qualify?
Top of my head, I'd say maybe 5 or 6.
Okay.
So, not too many. That's a big chunk of them right there. Well, 14, 5. There's a couple racing in the fairs, whether it be Michigan or Kentucky. I think we've raced 4 between the fairs.
Oh, yeah, you did have a win at the fair.
We had a win in Kentucky. Cody didn't have his chin strap done up. I don't know if you saw that picture.
I did see that. I wonder if they find
That's
him.
worse than wearing Hey Dudes, not doing your chin strap up at the Michigan Fair. Give me a break. So Cody and Chris had a winner down there. 6 at the Meadows the other day. 10, 14 today. 24, 3. I think that makes 27 qualified.
So when they come back maybe to go round 2, would it be coming right back this following Thursday, or maybe wait a week, or kind of see what their schedule's like?
We'll have to look at the schedules and sit down and start mapping stuff out. It's that time of year we got to start planning. The stake ones, where we're going to race them. We got to want to get them a start. The next gen horses, we like to try to get them in a race at Scioto and have a race there in a maiden. So, it's that time of year where things are going to get a little chaotic and find races for everybody. I doubt we'll really come back with anybody on Thursday. Maybe somebody like Kurt who made the little break there, which was a little unexpected. But overall, I don't think we'll have too many Thursday.
It was a good day, beautiful weather, great job
the weather
by
cooperated.
all.
That was great.
Originally, it was supposed to rain, so we're happy it didn't. Now the skies are the clouds are parting ways, so we can see the sky a bit. Big thanks to everybody, track crew, of course, everybody who come in on a Sunday, the people who put on the breakfast, everybody who made this possible, Anthony and the crew back there, Jason, Kenny, of course. We thank you for tuning in, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of videos up later this afternoon from Anthony that gives us updates on how he thought this afternoon went. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Thank you.